welcome to GR-TECHMIND channel. So today we are going to say about the tuples functions. So let us check out what are all the functions that are being involved in the tuples. Okay. So in tuples, we find length, max, minimum, sum, sorted, tuple, right? So with these functions, we can perform so many operations on tuples. Okay. And again, there are methods in tuples like count and index. Only two are there. Okay. So with the help of count, it's nothing but it returns the number of times a specific element appears in the tuple. And coming to index, it returns the index of first occurrence of a specific element. Okay. So firstly, we will create a tuple. So my tuple is this one, and it used open and close brackets. Okay. So when I execute with the help of my tuple and when I run it, I will get the same. So I have just created tuple very simply. Now, if I want to access any element from my tuple, I will just use this format like how we have used it for list. Okay. So access an element, I will just put index value and then I will just get it. So this is 0, 1, and 2. In my second position, I'm having the value 3, so I got the value 3. Now, if I want to find the length of tuple, so simply I will put length of my tuple. So whenever I run this, I will get 5 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 elements, so my length of my tuple is 5. If I include some more variables like this, then if I run, I'm having so many values. So if I run this, I will get this value 3. And if I run my tuple, since I have added two more values to it, I will get 7 over here. Now, to check if element exists or not, so I will just use this case like 4 in my tuple, then give me, yes, it exists. If I put a 9, since 9 is not in my tuple, then false. I will get false. Now I want to concatenate the tuples. Means with my tuple, I'm keep on adding another values, right? So if I run this, see, it got added up. Now I want to iterate through a tuple. So since I know the exact values, like it's a finite value, I can use for loop. So for item in my tuple, print items. Okay. So I will get it in this format. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 7, 6. Right? Since I have used my tuple, the first one which we have created my tuple, that I have taken. I'm not considering this combined tuple. If I consider this combined tuple over here, and if I run this, it will return these values. Got it? And always remember, if you just print till item, your result will be in this format. Okay, means it will be in this vertical format. If you want it in the format of horizontal, then you can just go with this. You have to use end equal to spaces, and inside that space you have to use quotation marks. Okay. Now we want to count the occurrences of an element. So to count the occurrences of an element, you can use mytuple.count. So I want the value 2 to be counted. So if I use this and if I run this, I will get only 1. So instead of 2, I will just, instead of my tuple, let me consider this combined tuple over here. And instead of taking 2, let me take the value 6, since the 6 values been repeated twice. So if I run this, I will get 2 because the 6 value is getting repeated for twice. So that's the reason I got 2. Now convert a tuple to a list. So in many cases, whatever the tuple that we have created, it cannot be changed. Like you cannot able to add the values or whatever you want. The value which has been, the tuple which you have taken, it won't be ever, it won't be changed. So that's the reason we are using the conversion type over here. So from tuple, we will change it to list, and then we'll do whatever the performances or operations that we wanted to do on it. And then again, we will convert this list to tuple back again. Okay. So that's how the concept is being created over here. So find minimum and maximum values. Okay, so my tuple is this and my list. I am converting this to list and I have taken this. Now, if I want to perform minimum maximum operations, since my tuple is in the format of list, I can do all these operations. Okay, so minimum of this, maximum of this. If you run this minimum value will be 1. And if you run this maximum value, my maximum value will be 5. Okay, 7. Why it is showing 7? My tuple, my tuple. Might be it is considering the previous one. Fine. Then we will do one thing. We'll put m tuple and run this. I have just converted this to list format. And now I wanted to know the minimum and maximum value of it. So let us check out. My maximum value, I got it. See, 5. So the previous operation, it took the previous two variables. That's the reason we got other values. Now see, now minimum value is this, and my minimum value, I mean maximum value is that, and now my minimum value will be 1. Okay. Now create a tuple with a single element. Fine. So single element tuple equals to 42 I have taken. Now if I run this, I'm getting the same, right? Okay. Now, unpacking. How do you do this? A, B, C equals to my tuple, and it starts from 0th index to 3. Run and check. Okay. So all this, from now we will see the formats, like how it is going to be represented and all. So if you want to unpack the tuple, you can use simply the A, B, C equals to all these cells. Okay. And now if you want to check the slicing operation, I mean, if you want to perform with the slicing operation, use this case. We already used it for a list, right? Simply you can use it for tuple also. My tuple equals to 1:4. Whatever is there, you can consider. Say m tuple, we have considered m tuple, and that we have stored in this. Now, if you want to run this, you will get some values like starts from 1 and ends with 4. So 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And now nested tuple. Tuples of tuples, right? So inside one big tuple, you will having small tuple values which are been stored. Okay. And now if you run this nested tuple, then you will get a result in this format, the same format. Okay. Now convert a list of tuples to a list of values. How do we do this? So let us take list of tuples in a list format. Then only we can do all the performances or operations, right? So tuples once created cannot be changed. So that's the reason we have converted and we have taken in a list format. And then since the values are been finite, we have taken for loop over here, and my tuple in my list will be list of tuples. And for item in tuple, I want the flattened list to get printed. So let us check now. See, since they are clubbed together, it has been unpacked over here, right? Now, zip the tuples. It's really an awesome concept that you can easily learn. So, zipping of values. So, when you run, you have taken tuple 1 and tuple 2, right? In tuple 1, you have taken 1, 2, and 3. And in tuple 2, you have taken A, B, and C. Now, I'm zipping these values. So, what I will get zipped off, zipped equals to zip of tuple 1, comma, and tuple 2. Now, if I run this value, I will get it in this format where it is showing some address value of it, right? So it will just pack it, and it has been stored at this particular address. Okay. Now, to find the index of element, to find index of an element, you will just put index, I mean, my tuple dot index. Since I have created m tuple, it will just show you this, and whenever you want to find the index of that value, means 4, it will return that value. Okay. Now, to sort a list of tuples by a specific element, you have to follow this format. Okay. So whenever you have sorted the list, just run it and get the value. See, 1, 2, and 3. Based on the index value I have taken, list of tuples are getting sorted, and I got it in the formatted, right? So 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. But here 3, 1, 2, it's not in a sorted format. So after doing some operation, I got it in a sorted format. Okay. Now, count unique elements in a tuple. To count, we can use the length of it. Okay. Now, merge two tuples into a new tuple. So I have taken two tuples and I have given this operation. Now, if I want this to get printed, will it come? Yes, it came. So you just add it. You have just merged the two tuples. So simply you can add tuple 1 plus tuple 2. Convert a tuple of strings to a single string. How do you do this? Tuple of strings equal to hello comma world, right? So combine the string equals. Simply use this. Space is mandatory, and join operation you can use the join function over here. And what is the variable that we have created? Tuple of strings. So whenever you combine the string, if you use this, and whenever you run this, you will get hello world. Space in between since we have taken this. Okay. Now find the longest tuple in a list of tuples. So how do we do this? List of tuples is the thing that we have considered. Now, longest tuple will be my max, means which is having the longest value inside the list. So it finds that, and whenever I whenever I run this, I will get 6, 7, 8, 9, which is having 4 values, right? These are having only 2 values, and these are having only 3 values. So among the list inside this, which tuple is bigger? This one, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's the reason it has returned this value. Now, tuple intersection. I'm intersecting these two tuple values. What does that intersection means? Let us check. Intersection, union, all these concepts are there. So whenever you run, it will show you. So 3 and 4. In tuple 1, just see, look, have a look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 and 4 are same. So intersecting, right? That's the reason 3 and 4 is the value that we got. Okay. So unique value, set will return only unique value. That's the reason set of my tuple 1 and set of my tuple 2. Among that, I have taken only tuple, right? So I want that to be in the format of tuple. That's the reason 3 and 4 is my result. Tuple packing. What does that mean? So I have defined a function called tuple packing ABC, and I want those values to return, right? So ABC. Now, my result tuple equals to packing of 1, apple, and 3. So whenever I print this, I will get 1 apple and this. But whenever I print this, let us check out. It will just show you what exact values that are being stored in it. Okay. Now, tuple slicing with the steps. We all know with the steps, how many steps will be the 1, 6, 2, right? So whenever you do this operation and whenever you try to run this sliced tuple, you will get this 2, 4, and 7. Means from starting 1 to 6, having 2 gaps in between it. I mean, if you consider 2, then it will take 1 gap. If you consider 3, it will take 2 gaps, like that. Okay. So get every second element from the index 1 to 5 when you consider this 2 position. Okay. Now convert a tuple to tuples to a dictionary again. Wow, nice. So this is in the format of key and value, right? Inside a tuple, right? Now, whenever you try to print in the dictionary format, how it is going to come? See, one, and I mean key and its value, key and its value, key and its value, right? So since I want this to be in dictionary format, I have taken dict of my tuple of tuples. Okay. Now, coming to remove elements from a tuple. To remove element, simply use this conditions and try to run this. What it does, it is nothing but it has just removed few elements, like from when it satisfies x not equals to 3, or after performing all these operations, it has just added into my tuple what all the elements that has to be added, and it has just returned it. Okay. Now, coming to rotate a tuple to the right by k positions. How do you do this? I have just defined a tuple and I have just given a condition saying k percentile length of my tuple. First, it checks the length of my tuple, and then I will operate it with the help of k by putting percentile symbol. So it just checks everything, and to further rotation, I have taken rotate a tuple as my variable, and this is more important. Since it has to rotate, my starting will be minus till end, less from starting till end. It just rotates from here to here and there to there. So it will just return it. Okay. So since it is satisfied, whenever I want to return my tuple, So rotate tuple, whenever it wanted to rotate, then it will just show me. Sorry. It will just rotate it. So since it satisfies, it will just rotate. Okay. Now, tuple packing and unpacking in function arguments. This is how the format looks like. Like the definition is nothing but multiply a comma b. So this is my function and taken a and b values and want a multiplied with the b value. So whenever I consider these values, I will just get the output saying 2 into 3 is what? 6, right? So I will get the value 6. So since it took and considered, it will run. Okay. So whenever I want to print these values, I will get it. Fine. Thank you.